Now, I regret not doing these things in my 5 year legal education that I pursued. Now, I don't want you to make these mistakes, and I want you to imbibe these things in your daily routine while you are pursuing your law education. Believe me, it will make you stand out. And those things that I'm going to discuss in this video will help you not just for the short term, but for the long term collective goal. So keep these things in mind. And if you're already studying law, start incorporating them from now. And if you wish to study law in future, have these things in mind for you to start your legal journey. Believe me, your legal journey starts from the day you enter in your law school. Now, the first is be extra and be weird and be unusual. Do not just be confined. Now, do not be confined to any territory. You should question everything. For example, you can go through your own university's bylaws, its rules and regulations. You, out of all people, should know about rules existing anywhere because that is your profession. You should be well versed with every law, every rule, every regulation that is in place at your own university level. So उन सब चीज़ों को पढ़ो, समझो. Why is it? If there are any discrepancies, you can even report it to the management. You'll stand out. Believe me, you'll stand out. Write them emails if you think there's a law that can be implemented at the university level. If you don't do all of these extra things, unusual things, your brain might not be able to develop as fast as it should. So treat every rule, every law as your first legal learning. Find loopholes in it, exploit inconsistencies, and even draft a petition for incorporating or implementing a new law for your university. And try to witness and question everything that you come across. Why is it happening like this? Why should it happen like this? Is it legally allowed? Is it not legally allowed? So once you start questioning these things, you'll start developing a sense of legal mindset. Now that is very important. And if you keep reading all these books and textbooks, it won't really help you. That is just 10% of your legal education. Now the second very important thing is please watch all these legal dramas and evergreen legal movies. Not once, but watch them twice or thrice. You're not just watching these for fun, but you're also watching them to develop your legal personality. I mean, you may not realize it, but unknowingly or subconsciously, it is developing your legal personality. I mean, during my time, I did not get the time, and honestly, I did not make the time to watch these shows. But now, when I watched all of these, it helps you, and it helps you in tremendous ways. Believe me. The first time you'll watch as a normal viewer. The second time, try to analyze every argument they're making, their body languages, how they're dressing up, their persuasion tactics. The third time, pause, predict how each lawyer should argue next. Like this builds your legal intuition, and honestly, you'll come up with certain legal terminologies that you might learn through these shows. And soon you'll start thinking like a top tier advocate even before you graduate. And now there are some shows that I can recommend you, but for a detailed list, I can put them in the comment section below so that you can have a look. Some of the famous shows are The Suits, Boston Legal, movies, 12 Angry Men, A Few Good Men, and there are a few more. I mean, you should definitely watch them and make them a part of your daily routine. I mean, just come home, watch one episode, and it also helps you ease your mind, through that entire day of stress and, that same repeated bare acts, revisions. It just distracts you, but distracts you in a very constructive way. So start watching them from now on. And believe me, it has helped me now to sort of develop a lot of legal terminologies, understanding a lot of legal nuances that happen in courts. How you have to really act smart but not very smart. So that is very important. You should make them a part of your legal routine, because believe me, I mean, whatever you're studying at your university or college is only 10% of what really prepares you for the legal world. All these things are unsaid, and they do prepare you, and prepare you in best of the ways for the legal world. Now, third one is super important, and I cannot stress its importance enough. That is, start networking from day one. Believe me, start making your networks, creating contacts in your phone book, because every contact matters. Put your ego aside, put your attitude aside. It's not going to help you, believe me. It doesn't even matter in a few years from now. Your law school batchmates, future colleagues or rivals, professors, future references, that random senior who gave you notes could be judge one day. So never underestimate a contact. Even, try and keep in touch with all these people. For that matters, I'd even suggest, please save your university's, college peon number in your phone book. That is the level of power of networking that exists. Keep legal contacts diary. Follow up with people regularly. Send them greetings, ask them their well-being, their health, because there is no connect in this world better than this emotional connect that you'll develop. Help them when you can, and so they can help you later. And it's not being selfish, it's being smart. The biggest lawyers you don't know just the law, they know people who know people. So there's this quote that I read: it's only 20% of your education and 80% of networking. So please make use of those contacts. Start saving up important contacts, important professors you meet, even the visiting professors you meet. Try and meet them. Try and set up maybe coffee dates, or you can of course set up coffee dates other than your boyfriends and girlfriends. Start meeting these people. Show them goodwill from your side, and believe me, that helps long term. Now, fourth is, be the devil's advocate, like argue from both sides. Now, while you are studying and while you don't have any professional legal matters in your hand, try and argue from both sides. Pick a topic. Most people pick a side and then they defend it and stick with it. Maybe, just supporting a political party. They'll be just hanging on with one political party. But in your case, I'll tell you that while you're studying law, you pick a topic and argue both sides flawlessly. Like, take any legal issue, defend it in the morning and prosecute it in the evening. Example, should AI generated music be protected by copyright? Now argue yes, argue no. Then argue why the law is outdated. How can you improve the law? When AI is coming and a lot of other technological advancements are already in progress, how can you defend it? So argue both sides. The ability to switch perspectives will make you lethal mind, one who can predict the enemy's every move before they make it. So that is very essential, because when you start arguing from the other side as well, you'll start picking up what they can pick up, right? So you can defend it better. So try and develop that kind of mindset. Do not just be on one side of the coin कि अच्छा ऐसा है तो ऐसा ही है, ऐसा नहीं है. You can always argue from both the sides. It helps you develop a very different kind of mindset, which is required in today's age and time. It is required. And the fifth thing, which is unusual again, that is try to rewrite judgments, the already pronounced judgments, in your own words. That is so important, I'm telling you. Landmark judgments that have been written, I mean, I know you've been reading them and they form the basis of your legal education, and that's all right, that's one side. But just try and switch places. Think about the judgment and take a pen and a paper and start thinking, if you were in that position, how would you pronounce it? So rewrite them in clear, maybe entertaining and different ways. If you can make someone laugh while understanding a legal principle, you've mastered it. So rewrite Keshav Nanda Bharti or other landmark judgments. This method forces you to simplify, analyze, and retain legal knowledge better than anyone else. This is a bit unusual, but try to rewrite judgments in your own words. From all the legal knowledge and legal principles that you've learned so far. Take help of ChatGPT, and of course, and just try and develop your own sense of mind in it. That why was it pronounced that way? What was the need for judges to pronounce it that way? Because it's so old now, and if you were to write that judgment in today's age and time, how would you draft it? What legal principles would you add? What innovative legal principles would you add? So once you start doing it, you will start noticing that you've created a legal bent of mind yourself. You don't need books. Once you start following and questioning and analyzing everything around you, you'll become a master of law. And believe me, law is one thing that sets you apart any which way. I mean, you are the one who understands the rules, the regulations, and who know how to play around it. So law is not for the ordinary. If you want to be smarter than everyone else, start thinking beyond the textbooks. Do not do these mistakes that I did. I mean, not following all of these things, and break down legal rules in ways no one else dares to. Okay, so challenge everything, question authority, train your brain to be legally